Okay, so we want to look at equivalent statements. This is for the part of the review. I can tell you right now that on the test there's at least one question like this. If you were asked if two statements were equivalent or not, excuse me, shh. If two statements were equivalent or not. So, like for instance, if I asked you if P then Q is equivalent to not P, or not Q then P, not P. How would you go about finding out if they were equivalent or not? Yep, you have to draw a truth table for both. Okay? So let's do that one. This is a great example because this is really the contrapositive of this statement. So this would be the first step. All right. So now I want to look if the conditional, what the conditional is. So it's an if-then statement. What? So yep, if P then Q. And I want to see if it's an if-then, what am I looking for? True, false. And here it is right here. So this will be a false. Everything else will be true on this one. Then I'm going to look at not Q, not P. So not Q would be false, true, false, true. Then we have false, false, true, true. Once again, we're looking for first a true and then a false. Here it is right here again. Everything else is true. So my question for you is, do these two columns have exactly the same things in the same order? Yes. So therefore, these two things are equivalent to each other. We can use that triple equals for that. Okay? So I can tell you right now there's at least one question like that on the test. All right. Let's talk about converse to inverse to contrapositive. First, we're starting with a conditional, and that would be if P then Q, right? That's the conditional one. So for today, I have on the board on the right, it says, if it is Friday, then it is grade upload day. Okay? So that was my first statement. But I want to make that into a converse. Do you guys remember what the converse is? Nope. Just switch them around. Yep. So this would be converse. So then I would say if, notice it starts with an if also, if it's grade upload day, then, yep, it's Friday.
So when you will be asking this for the test, it will always be in sentences?
Yep, it would be in sentences, yep, for the test. Okay, so now I want to do the inverse. So the inverse is going to be not P, then not Q. Okay, so we're going to take the original sentence. We're going to say if it's not Friday, then it's not grade upload day. Okay? And then lastly, if I do the contrapositive, it's reversing and negating. Yep. If it's not grade upload day, Yep. Then it's not Friday. Okay. So I know that there is at least one or more questions on the test like this too. Okay, so make sure you have these down. You need to memorize the 4 instances. The next thing I want to ask you guys is which ones are equivalent of these? Which one's equivalent to the conditional? Nope. Nope. Contrapositive. We just proved that right up above. Right? So those two are equivalent. Which one's equivalent to the converse? You don't have much choice here. Yeah. Oops. It's the inverse. Okay? Okay, so De Morgan's law is like this. It's when you're negating a compound statement. So if I'm negating a P and Q, basically it's just saying you're going to distribute that negative to both P and Q, but that and becomes an or. It flips it. And then the same thing can be said about if I have P or Q, I would still negate both, but then I'd flip it the other way. Yeah.
How can a question come on this?
So if I were to say, it is not true that it is not true that it is Friday and it's grade upload day. Okay, so it is not true that it is Friday and it is grade upload day. To negate that, I could say, just to make it go through it, this would be equivalent to me saying it is not Friday or it is not grade upload day. Okay? And there's one last thing I wanted to tell you guys as soon as I get this written out. Okay, what if I wanted to negate a conditional statement? We went over this very briefly. It's from 3.5. Okay, so here's the formula for it. It is going to be P and not Q. I'm not sure if that last little bit is on your test or not. I cannot remember, but I do know that it's in your homework for tonight. So there's that information that will help you get through that. But I just can't remember if it's on the test or not. But okay?